During the holiday season, there's usually a push by law enforcement to get all the desk jockeys out from behind their computers and back out in the streets. Generally speaking, these aren't going to be your go-getter cops to begin with. Many of them have desk jobs because they don't like working the traditional patrol capacity of law enforcement. So they're not your biggest threat. Here's how it affects you. Because of the extra cops on the street, staffing levels are usually over 100%. Good supervisors take advantage of this and give their proactive cops free rein to go find something to get into. They'll often say, "Hey, Jones, Franklin, here's the keys to an unmarked car. No report call for you guys tonight. Go find somebody to take them to jail." So now Jones and Franklin, who've been on the force for 1 to 3 years, are like kids in a candy store. And because they were given free rein and an unmarked car, there's an expectation they have to produce. If you've been stopped by these guys, they're looking to take you to jail. So that leads me to tip number 1, stash your stash. There's 2 types of drug cases out there, actual possession and constructive possession. If the cop finds your weed nearby, but it's not actually on your person, it's considered a constructive possession case. Constructive possession cases are much more difficult for the cops and the state of Florida to prove. The police will use whatever evidence they can find to connect you to that weed. I've made my share of constructive possession arrests where the drugs were in a book bag that contained a student ID. Easy conviction. I'm pretty sure you're smart and creative enough. Just know, stash your stash. Tip number 2, the 4 magic words. In constructive possession cases, the cops are likely going to read your Miranda and ask you questions to establish whose weed it was. It's going to be a high-pressure situation, and you'll be tempted to fess up. I need you to muster up the courage to say 4 words. I want my lawyer. You might get arrested, but we're playing the long game here, not the short game. Tip number 3, Ziploc. The weed that's coming out these days can stink up a whole car, especially if you got a bowl or a half-burnt J. In Florida, if the police smell weed, they have grounds to search your car. You'll likely have to read between the lines here on this a little bit. Just know that if they smell the weed, it's not good. Tip number 3, decline a search. If the cops smell weed, they may ask to search your car even though they've already got probable cause to search it regardless. They do this because it solidifies their case. Decline any request by law enforcement to search your car by saying, "Officer, I've got nothing to hide, but I'm in a hurry. Am I free to leave?" If the cop asks you, "What's the rush?" say, "Sorry, it's a private matter." This gets the point across and closes the door to most of the psychological games that good cops play. Tip number 4, have your documents immediately available. When the cop's at your window and asking you for your registration proof of insurance, while you're searching for it, he's doing a cursory search of your car looking for evidence to get into your car. If you have your documents immediately ready, you're limiting the time the officer has to search and or smell evidence to lead to a search of your vehicle. Now, about 30 to 50% of the time, the cops will do a call-out traffic stop. What this means is they won't even approach your car. Instead, they'll either holler for you to get out of the car, get on the PA, and they'll have you come out to them. When this happens, bring all of your documents with you. If you don't, they're probably going to eventually go back to your car and have you retrieve them. When that happens, they're going to follow you back to the car and they're going to do their cursory search of the vehicle while you're gathering your documents. If you bring your documents out with you in the first place, you're interrupting their investigative rhythm. If you have any tips, I'd love to read them in the comments below. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up and share the video and click that subscribe button. I look forward to bringing you new videos each week.